maybe. Are we live? We're live. Okay, so let's try this again without, hopefully, the distractions. But that is real life. That is what I deal with most of the day, and I'm grateful that the people that I do work with understand that I'm a mompreneur. I'm a mother first and then an entrepreneur, and this is just how the day looks most of the time. So let's talk about minimizing your frustrations. For one, assess the season that you're in. Assess the season that you're in and create expectations for yourself that are reasonable. If you are in a thick season of life, maybe it's health-wise, maybe it's parenting, maybe it's marriage, maybe it's business, maybe it's all of them combined. We know that there are really heavy seasons of life. Understand the season that you're in and set realistic expectations for how you're going to show up day in and day out. I understand right now that my health is in the fluctuating. So there are going to be some days where I have the schedule that I make for myself in my cute little planner that I stick to, and I get all the things done. And then there are going to be days that I just have bad days. And maybe that means I'm not getting out of bed. Maybe that means I'm not present on social media. Maybe that means I'm not trying to sell anything for the day, or I'm not trying to help new clients. I'm taking better care of the clients I already have. Maybe that means I don't have the energy to do any of that. And so my main focus, my priority in this season is my health and my family. Really making sure that the time and attention that I do have is spent on those things first, and then scheduling time in my day for my business. Where in past seasons, it's been all business and then mom on the back burner. Something about that didn't align with me, and it's what led me to take a step back and to ask questions. What did I need in that season of life? What do I still need in this season of life that maybe I'm not experiencing right now? What brings me joy? What brings me peace? And what I know from personal experience, I'm not a hustler. I've never been a hustler in my life. I am very dedicated when I start something. I like to see things through. I'm intentional about what I do. It doesn't matter what it is, unless it's putting the lid back on something, because I really struggle with intentionality and putting the lid on things and putting them back in the fridge. Ask my husband, it drives him nuts. But minimize your frustrations by realistically setting expectations for yourself. Ask for help. I know that this is a season that I need more help than I can possibly give. And so I have to rely on the fact that I'm a giver. I always give. I don't ever ask for anything in return. And maybe this is a season where I have to say, hey, I'm going to cash in on some of the things that hopefully you felt from me serving you, because I really need help in this area. I can't say yes to everything. I do not have the bandwidth or the capacity to be on every call, to volunteer for everything, to serve in every capacity that I have in the past. And that's not to say that it won't come back, but right now I'm understanding my limitations, and I'm understanding where I need to press pause, put a pin in it, and then come back. And there's nothing wrong with that. We live in a society of hustle, and hustle, more. And while those things are good things, they're not necessarily all the time things. And you have to truly bring perspective to where you're at. Truly look at your life and ask yourself, am I just trying to make this happen so that I'm known? Or do I want to be effective with what I'm doing? Whether that is in motherhood, or it's in business, or it's in ministry, or it's in your personal, professional, spiritual growth, like whatever it is. But I am a marketing and strategy coach. So when I am asked to take a look at someone's business plan or someone's social media to give them some tips on how they could be more present without actually doing more, one of the things I do is I take a deep dive into their business, their website, maybe if they have an app, their links, their processes for how new people get started with them, what their customer experience is like, what the back end of things look like. I take a deep dive into what it is that they're trying to do, and I assess from an outside perspective, is this something that's easy for a prospective client to get to know you, to know your heart, your mission, your vision, your values, to know how you serve people, to know if I wanted to be a customer, where could I find the resources to let me know what you do very clearly, what's in it for me, what the investment is, what the time commitment is, all of these different things that if you think about yourself as a consumer, these are things that are important unless you're just a random shopper. I like to know the companies that I'm shopping from. I like to know what they stand for. I like to know what their sustainability is. I like to know what their values are. I like to know what their mission is. I shared a couple weeks ago about the Carhartt thing. We've supported Carhartt for a really long time, but I don't stand for that. And so I choose to shop elsewhere from here on out. And that's a decision that I made based on what matters most to me. So if I were to take a look in the same aspect in your life, what would I find? If you're someone who desires change so desperately and you want to know how you can do that, take a look at your daily schedule. And this is something I carry around, and I write throughout the day like what the day looks like, because every day is different. I document days in my planner because I want to know what a really good day looks like. When I'm having a really great day, what does it look like? What am I doing? What am I accomplishing? What time am I getting up? What time am I going to bed? Am I hustling, or are these habits that I've built into my life? And I'd say the same is true for you. If you want to create that margin in your life, you have to look at your life as it is right now, not where you want it to be, not where it's going to be in 5 years, but where it's at right now, and ask yourself, where am I spending time? Where am I getting distracted? Where could I add more time into intentionality with my children or with my spouse? Or, I'm not working my business consistently. How do I fix that? Take a look at where you're spending your time. If you have an Apple iPhone, this is one of the greatest gifts they ever gave us in this dumb phone. Look at how much you spend on your phone. What does it say? Where are you spending your time? I love right now that my time frames are spent more in developmental apps than it is in social media apps. I've spent a lot of time on Instagram today, but I've been working on content. So really think about that. Where are you spending your time? And if you say you have no time, you need to document your time. Take it as like this is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to take a deep dive into my own day, and I'm going to document it. And when I get to the end of my day, I'm going to look at how much time I spent on social media. Did it move the needle forward? Did it empower me? Did it bring joy to my life? Or did it distract me? Did it make me discontent? Did it frustrate me when I was trying to do things and be on social media and then respond to my children? Because that has happened to me many times. So build margin in your schedule and create routines. I talk all the time about giving strategy tips. I can give tips as someone who knows what it looks like firsthand to see people have results based on the tips that I've given them or the strategy we've set up. But at the end of the day, it's up to you to implement it. And if you're trying to take someone's cookie cutter routine and apply it to your life, and after your first couple of weeks, it's really bringing more discord than it's bringing peace, you can easily say that that's not for you. And you can move past that. And you can say, you know what, let's adapt this. This is a good framework, but this isn't working for me. I don't like to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't like to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning. I prefer to get up earlier. Or, if you're doing any kind of school with your kid at home, I like to get it done in the morning. My 4-year-old, I like to get her school stuff done early in the morning so she has the rest of the day to play. So we have learning in our mind when we start the day, and throughout the day, as we see the letter B or the letter D, we can point that out and we can continue the lesson throughout the day, but it's relaxed and it's fun. I also know that I like to do my personal growth, personal study, journaling, all of that in the morning. I like to get my workouts done in the morning so I can shower, get ready for the day, and that helps me feel more together for the day. I don't like to work out at night. I don't like to work out in the afternoon. I don't like working late into the night because my brain just doesn't work. At that point, my brain's fried. So know the things that you do and don't like. Build routines and habits around those things, and be encouraged that your schedule is becoming your own. Like once you really start to pay attention to what you enjoy and what brings peace and ease and flow to your life, do more of that and build routines around that and structure your day around those things, because that's the goal, is to have more peace and ease and joy and flow. So really look at what other people are doing as guidance versus gospel, because when it comes to your life, you can take advice from other people. And I take advice from other people all the time, but it's about how I apply it. And if it just does not fit with my values or the way that I do things, that's okay. That doesn't mean that it's bad advice. That just means it doesn't work for me. So get in the habit of saying, you know what? Thank you. That's awesome. I love that that's working for you, but I just don't think in this season of life that's really going to help me a whole lot, or that's not for me. But I appreciate your suggestion, or however you want to phrase it. I'm not really good with saying no, but I'm learning how to say thank you. I appreciate your thoughts. I appreciate you thinking of me, but right now it's just not for me. I can't add anything else into my day, to my schedule, whatever. And then the last thing to know is when it comes to creating a life that you dream of, a business that you dream of, a schedule that you dream of, it has to become more than a dream. You have to create a plan around it. And you have to understand when it's time to trim back the things that you're doing. So if your kids are in all of the activities and it's exhausting to you because you're the limo that takes them everywhere, learn when it's time to say, you know what? You get to choose one sport. You've got 3 siblings. There's only one mom, and you just got to choose. That may be heartbreaking to hear, oh my gosh, you can't do something. But at the end of the day, if it's making you more stressed to take them and it's exhausting everyone, it's not worth it. So understand when it's time to trim back. When it's time to trim back your commitments, your personal commitments. Maybe you committed to being on the phone every night at 8 p.m., but it's really not working for you because you're exhausted. It's causing contention with your spouse. You're frustrated because your kids aren't in bed by that time. Hello. Learn when it's time to say, okay, you know what? At this point in life, I can't do evening calls. I do 1 evening call a week, and that's it. The rest of them are planned throughout the day around nap time because, 1, they're sleeping, and 2, that's just where I'm at right now. Maybe when my kids are a little bit older and their bedtime routine doesn't consist of 45 minutes of running back and forth from my bed, tears, and drama, then maybe I'll add it back in. But for right now, that's just not working for me. Trash. When is it time to take things off your plate? Trash it. If you are someone who has big ideas, but you understand your bandwidth, then maybe that's a not right now. And not a trash like forever kind of thing, but just not on your schedule, not in your line of vision for now. Just have a folder somewhere where you save those good ideas, where you save, those things, because if you will be intentional with the season that you're in, you will experience the craziest amount of peace. And peace is what we should be chasing. A life that we enjoy that brings us peace, not constant frustration, not constant stress, not constant contention, but peace, where we make decisions that are in line with where we're at right now, in here and in the now. Because here is holy. And I talked about that today in my post. Here is holy. We only get one chance in this here time. We don't get it back. We don't get to revisit it later. This is a single important season of your life. So learning how to say, you know what, this is not for me right now. And I have a lot of great ideas. And I work with a lot of other coaches and other business, women online who have so many ideas for courses and content and freebies and all of these different things. And it's like, that's great. But unless you have a full team of people helping you implement these things consistently, it's going to lead to burnout. It's going to lead to frustration. It's going to lead to disorganization and a lack mentality of what you're actually doing. Because you can have something that's so great, but it's hidden under all of these distractions. And the distractions can still be good things. But we don't just want to do good things. We want to do great things. And if you have so many things going on at one time, you can't do great things. I'm reading a book. I've been reading a book for the last couple of months. I'm a slow reader because I read more than one thing at a time. But if you're someone that struggles with this book has been the key to unlocking all of the wisdom that I'm sharing with you right now. It's called Essentialism, and it focuses in on, the disciplined pursuit of less. If you pursue less, you will be greater at those things that you do versus having all of these different offerings and all of these, different things on your schedule and all of this chaos. That doesn't bring you peace. That doesn't bring you joy. That creates discontention. I don't know if that's the word. It creates comparison. It creates a prideful mentality, a prideful, heart when you're going to serve people. And honestly, in my opinion, with someone who works very closely with clients, it creates a point where you're not actually serving the people who have invested in your service as well. You're looking for the next best thing. As a mom, maybe you're looking past the season that you're in versus trying to figure out, okay, what's this season trying to teach me? What can I pull from this season that I can teach other people? And I know not everyone thinks like that. I think like that, but not everyone does. But if you want to see your life expand, help other people grow. Help other people flourish in the seasons of life they're in. Take the wisdom, even if it's in a challenge or it's painful, take the wisdom that you're pulling from this time in life, the here and now, and share it with someone else who needs it. The only way that I have ever created anything worth anything is taking the lessons that God's given me and teaching them to other people and sharing them with other women who are in need, who need that key or that promise or that whatever it is that I felt like God taught me in those seasons, and passing it on. I talk about postpartum depression and anxiety and business and motherhood, and I don't talk a lot about marriage because I'm not an expert at marriage by any means. I'm not an expert at any of these. These are just things that I've learned. But I share what I know because it's important. We are a people who are created for community, and it doesn't have to look a certain way to be of value to other people. But that's the last thing. And then transfer. If you are someone who does want to do these things and you're in a growth season, I said today on my stories, like, you have to choose what season you're in. Are you in a growth season for your family where you're being called to be more intentional there, to be more focused there, to be more, maybe you're in more demand there? That's okay. Or are you in a season of growth in your business? And by growth, I mean fast scaling, just wildly successful, crazy momentum. But you have to understand which season that you're in, because you can't be in both seasons. And I know people are I'll probably get a lot of backlash for that, but you can't be in both seasons at the same time, because you can only focus on one thing at a time, what's essential. And sometimes you're more hands-on with your family. It's a season where you need to be in the thick of it for your family. And then sometimes it's where your family has your back and they're supporting you, and you're in the thick of growth in business, ministry, whatever it is. But you cannot have both at the same time, because you're one person. And if you're divided on what your priority is at that moment, you're not following through with anything well. You're doing things that are good, but you're not doing things that are great. And as a woman who desires to have a sense of excellence, I have to choose. And sometimes that's disappointing to other people who expect great things from me. But trust me when I say, when you lean into the season that you're in, when you find that alignment, that peace, that joy, when it's time to make a shift into that next season, you have walked in faithfulness. You have been obedient, and you will see the fruits of that harvest. The seeds that you planted, the time and intention that you built there, you will see the seeds of that harvest. You will see the fruit of that harvest, and it will come easier, and it will come much faster, and it will come without as much stress and strain and heartache as if you try to take the season that you're in and force the season that you want. The here and now is so important. And I know that it's not always fun, and you don't always love it. But one of the things that I have learned in the last couple of weeks is to say, I love it here because I'm loved here. And this was a message by Pastor Michael Todd from Transformation Church in Tulsa, Oklahoma. But he was talking about the here is holy. Here is holy. It's a sacred time that you won't get back. And you may not love it here, but you are loved here. God cares about your excitement, about your visions, about your energy, about, the action that you're taking. He cares about all of that, but he cares about you more. He cares about you being whole and well more than he does what you're going to produce on this earth. And if you look at having a faithful relationship as, God only cares about what you produce, that's not a relationship. That's a dictatorship. That's a business relationship, and that's not how God works. So I hope this has been helpful. If you are in a season where you need some guidance on this, I would love, and be so honored to offer you my services. And I have a really great promotion coming up tonight. I talked to my good friend, Brandy Thomas, yesterday, and it was such a gift to be able to chat with her and to get her perspective on some things. So if you've been wanting to work with me in the last 6, 8 months, a year, I don't know how long you've been following me, stay tuned for tonight. I'm going to have a special promotion that's going to go all the way through February. And it's going to be something that I've never done before, but I really think will be a great service and value to those of you that choose to take me up on it. So I'm so grateful for your time. I know this has gone a little long, but I hope this has been helpful. If it has, please tag someone who needs it. Take a clip of it, send it to someone who is just needing some encouragement today. Or, even better, take what you've learned here and go teach it to someone else or apply it to your own life, because that's truly when we grow and when we flourish. And that is my goal and my gift. So, with my tiny interruption here, I am done. I hope you guys have the most incredible Wednesday. And I will see you this evening in a post.